Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. Get going here in just a second. Can you guys hear me okay? Make sure that we're good. All right, good morning. Yep, sounds like we're good. Thank you. All right. There's a lot of stuff to parse through here. We've been doing a lot of research already today for things that we want to focus on. So let's get to it here in a second. Okay, let's get started. Good morning, everybody. Serge Berger here from The Steady Trader. This is our Set the Market morning show. We're going to take the next 10 to 15 minutes to go through some of the more important things that we want to focus on today. The juncture we're at right now is sort of a give and take between economic data and a lot of the corporate earnings. And I think we are in a situation where lots of the corporate earnings could potentially be more important than some of the economic data. Like, for example, yesterday's Fed. It depends how it falls. So I'm really focusing on some earnings here right now, some specific plays. The reason I have the earnings calendar up here is because I want to quickly show you there was a lot of companies that reported earnings last night. We'll go through at least 3 of them here in a minute. We'll go through UPS, which is taking a big fall, WHR, Caterpillar, and these are all ones I think there's opportunity setting up on once these initial post-reaction moves start to settle. But before we even do that, let's have a quick look at gold. And I chimed into the Trade Ops chat room this morning, early morning, and I'm going to quickly share with you what's going on here. So if you look at gold futures, which is kind of where we're setting the price from, they're up about 2% plus this morning. In fact, maybe a bit more. Let me have a quick look. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, gold futures. Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay, so they're up about 2% here on the day, and the futures, the gold futures are actually making a new high here. So let me just quickly. Oh, that's also the contract switch. Okay, so that's the other reason for that. Okay, either way, gold's gonna open up higher today. It's maybe closer to 1.4%, 228. So gold's making a big move regardless of whether it's the contract switch take to consideration or not. So GLD this morning pre-market's trading more or less right exactly at the previous all-time highs from October. So that trend continues, and as you guys know, we want to respect the trends first and foremost. And so when we look at the market rover, that trend never changed, right? The market rover has gold bullish trend that hasn't changed. In fact, it gave us a new T signal buy from a trend following perspective on the 10th of January, and it looks like we could be reaching that next target around 260 on GLD today. I need to see where it's trading pre-tree market gold, GLD. Yeah, we're trading 256. 260 might be a bit of a stretch today, but I think that's certainly coming in line. So if you're using the market rover, the buy signal, the trend following buy signal from the 10th of January is now 260. The second target is in play. It's a target that I think is reasonable to expect that could be hit. So that's number one, watching gold very closely. The second thing I want to look at is Bitcoin, and this is not necessarily because there's a trade Bitcoin too remains bullish trend, but because I just want to remind people, Bitcoin is in a choppy range. It's not breaking out, at least not yet. It certainly could. And then go towards 110 to 115, I think would be the next move. It once again failed to do that earlier this month on the 20th. So there's clearly a lot of overhead supply, I guess, in the 105 to 109, 110 area. So we need to be able to overcome that, and then you pretty quickly will probably get to 115, 120, whatever. But it needs to be overcome. So if you're looking at this near term, same thing for IBIT, which again, all these things remain bullish trend on the market rover. So that's number two. So gold moving higher. Again, the trend remains in place. Bitcoin, same thing, which now gets us to earnings. So I want to focus on three specific earnings this morning that I think are important. There's more, and none of these are tech earnings, but we'll look at some of those as well. So I want to look at UPS, WHR, which is Whirlpool, which is an important real economy stock. It essentially represents housing in many ways, and Caterpillar, which of course is a real economy stock. So let's have a look at UPS first. Now, UPS this morning is set to open below the January lows. I'll show you what that looks like. So UPS is in pre-market right now, trading about 114. Let me take this stuff down a little bit so we can get a side-by-side comparison. This is what it looks like. Okay, so we've got UPS here, 114 pre-market. 114 is way down here. So we're going to be, getting to a point where potentially this stock can bounce a bit more. So UPS to me is not a short here. I'd be very careful. It might get oversold from a Vertical X Pro perspective, meaning severely oversold. And so I don't know if I want to short it. The reason the stock is falling is not because they're a bad company, but because some of their main clients like Amazon have their own fleet. That's what the report, the news wires are reporting as well, as far as the headlines. So if the stock starts falling into this area down here, then I think it's actually a better idea to potentially look on a long side as opposed to a short side. So that's kind of short side move. So that's kind of this area, which the stock is coming into this morning. So I'm going to be watching this very closely to see if there's something on the long side, maybe a bull put options credit spread is something. But again, it needs to obviously react to earnings first, and then we need to see how it settles out today. That's kind of what we're watching. So that's UPS. The other one that we're watching very closely and want to watch very closely is WHR. Again, Whirlpool. Whirlpool is also down significantly this morning, and it's going to open around one. Hold on. Are they really opening at the same levels? Okay, so this is going to sound confusing, but they're opening up at the same level. So both around 114. That is coincidental. That is not on purpose, but UPS 114, WHR also 114. But for WHR, 114 has a different represents something different. So for WHR, 114 is here. Let me mark this quickly. Is around here, and we'll show you what we actually think. This one might be a better one to try on the bearish side. Because what WHR is really doing, again, we need to see it settle out today, but what WHR is doing is essentially putting in a lower high. And in fact, it's even putting in an island reversal, which is something that we really want to watch very closely. So WHR gapped higher for like 2 days in a row on the 14th of January and again on the 15th of January. And now it's set to open about here in this area. So that leaves this area up here as an island, this price action. And so we would think that the stock is more favorable to potentially continue to go lower, or at least settle in somewhere down here. So this won't be more something on the bearish side. Again, whether it's a bear call spread or something directionally bearish, is difficult to say here before the open because the stock needs to react first. So those are two ideas in addition to gold and Bitcoin. Let me show you one more, and that's Caterpillar. So we'll look at CIT. And CIT, it too this morning is trading off. It's trading around 376. So 376 is basically nothing more than just in the middle of its trading range that it's kind of been in. So it's opening around, around this level here. Okay, so that's really nothing more than the middle of the trading range it's been in. And again, in the year of the trader, these are the kind of things we want to be aware of. So the trading range it's been in is kind of this, and you can see there's a level that goes all the way back to the April 2024 highs that corresponds to where the stock is going to right now. So that one to me is kind of like a nothing burger to start off the day, but I do want to watch it because it's a good move. And then last but not least, let's have a look at Microsoft, which obviously, as you guys know, is an important stock. And that name after earnings is trading down. And I think let me close these windows here. I think what's interesting about this one here is that overnight it had that initial 2 times a down reaction, and now for a third time. And it's coming back into 418 or so. 418 is basically the low end of this range. So if I were to get rid of these lines here, which were just really not that important, okay, then what I would see is that the stock is set to open now, and it's gravitating towards the low end of that range. So 420 is about here. Okay. If I make this a weekly look, which is really what matters, you can see that weekly look has this stock at this is kind of like an important support level for this stock. And I think if it were to break below, probably closer to below 410, then you could see a situation where this arc, and I'm not trying to get wonky here technically, it's just literally what we can do here. And I drew this arc for you guys about 2 weeks ago, so this is nothing new. But you could see a situation where this arc here that has existed for some time might actually break to the downside. So that would be this. And that probably wouldn't be all that much fun for the broader equity market. So these are some of the things we're watching here: UPS, WHR, CAT, gold, Microsoft, Bitcoin. It's a lot to squeeze into 10 minutes here, or actually 15 minutes this morning, or just about, actually a little bit more than 10 minutes. So a lot to go through, and a lot of opportunity is really what I'm seeing here. If you guys have any questions, let us know. Email support@thesteadytrader.com. Have a great trading day. We'll see members in the Trade Ops chat room in about 15 minutes. We'll get started. I think there'll be some tremendous opportunities here today, as usual. Again, Year of the Trader. And we will be back with the Set the Market Morning Show on Monday. We don't do it on Fridays, but we'll be back on Monday. And again, any questions, let us know, and we'll see you guys in the chat room. Thanks so much, folks. See you soon. Oh, also very important, please do subscribe to the channel. I always have to say this. It's important, really important for us, but also for you, so you're up to date. We're going to go live a lot more. I meant to go live yesterday after the Fed, but I was traveling yesterday, so I couldn't do that. But we're going to do this a lot this year, go live, and when there's important events to analyze it. And so you want to make sure you get those pop-up sessions in real time. So subscribe to the channel, thumbs up, like.